Alright, so in this video we're going to be making raised garden beds. These are pretty easy to do, and they're pretty much all pallet wood, which keeps the cost down. Got one thing that I transplanted from my old garden boxes, but really it only takes like half an hour to make one if you prepare for it. And that's it. So let's take a look and see how it's done. Alright, so for these garden beds I'm going to try and make it short and sweet. So a couple of quick things. The dimensions. You can make them any dimensions you want. The ones that I'm making, I have 4-foot beds and 8-foot beds. I designed them so that I could, it would be the perfect size to insert hay bales. Now every farmer's hay bales are a little bit different, so make sure you measure yours out first and then go from there. So what I'm doing are beds. Well, this one is going to be 8 feet long, 20 inches high, and 20 inches wide. So with the 2x4 and the pieces of pallet wood on the inside, the inner part is going to be 17 inches clear, which is the perfect size for my hay bales. So this is, these can be pretty much completely made out of pallet wood. I am doing 8-foot beds, so I couldn't use the pallet 2x4s because those are typically about 4 feet long, but you can use those for the smaller beds. I had to use some pine from Home Depot. So the first thing that I did was I took my 8-foot 2x4s, all right, and I framed them up. So I've got 8 inches or 8 feet this way, and the cross member down here is 17 inches long, so altogether it's 20 inches. What I do is I put GRK fasteners, which are these little guys. These screws, they're rated for exterior use. They are fantastic. They're self-drilling. They've got like a little washer attached to them, so they don't pull out. They work really great. A neighbor of mine introduced those to me last year, and I've been using them ever since. Alright, so what you're going to do is frame up, or make 2 frames just like that one. Whether it's 8 foot, 4 foot, whatever dimensions, you make 2 of those. Alright, then I'll come right back. Alright, so now that we've got the 2 frames put together, we want to make sure that they're the right distance apart on the workbench. So keep measuring them 20 inches on both ends. And now all we do is we start applying the pieces of pallet wood that I've pre-cut 20 inches long each one. Set them in, we line them up. Alright, and keep in mind that when you're setting this up, one side of the frame may not be exactly lined up, so it's good to just set that first one in. I'll stick a brad nail in each one, and then go to the other end and set this one. Always measuring. Alright, so those are just to tack them down. It's not permanent. I'll be using some 2-inch decking nails to hold them in permanently. But now all we're going to do is just go on, keep laying the rest of the pieces of pallet wood, and we just keep tacking them down. And once they're all tacked down with this and everything's in place on that side, then I'm going to nail down each board. Make sure they don't move. A couple things to note: when you're dealing with pallet wood, it often will curl when it gets wet. So when I put the nail in, I put it right in the middle. And also what you can do is take a piece of strapping and run it along the tops of each piece and screw it in. That'll prevent the curling as well. But it also makes it a little bit harder to squeeze your hay bale in, so keep that in mind. And when you're cutting these things, oftentimes the edges aren't completely straight, that's perfectly fine. Just try and keep it as neat as you can, at least on one side, the side that's facing up. Alright, so when one side is done, it should look pretty much like that. So you've got one full side that's all covered in those pieces of pallet wood, and that's going to be, of course, the inside. Now, the 8-footers are a little bit harder to move, but you can see the side is going to look, just like that. Alright, so all you got to do is just do that around the inside of all the other 3 sides, and you're done. Alright, so that's really all there is to it, to making these raised beds. You're going to be spending the majority of your time taking the pallets apart, cutting up the pieces to the right sizes that you need, and nailing. But it doesn't take long, and you've got a nice garden bed that'll last you a few years. Keep in mind though that it is pine, so it's not going to last forever. But given the cost, which is pretty much free, my cost for this 8-footer is $12.50. And the reason for that is all this stuff is free, and all the nails and screws that I use I get from when I do scrap metal pickups. I keep them. Sometimes I keep the nails from when I'm taking them out of the pallets, so it keeps costs down to a minimum. So that's it. So thanks for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, check out my other videos. See y'all later.